Hello and thank you for watching this very short video. And prior to you using the earnings and income streams calculator below this video, I just wanted to run through exactly how to use this so you can work out exactly the kind of income you can make, the income streams that you can make it from, and how much you actually need to make, whether you want to work part-time, full-time, or if you want to upscale the business. Now, let's face it, most people when entering a business are looking for two main questions to be answered. The first, of course, is how much is it going to cost me to get involved in the business? And you can go to our packages tab, which is just up here. And it will give you the bronze, silver and gold packages, as well as master distributor exclusive licenses. The other question, of course, is how much money can I make? And this is what I wanted to show you. Now, what you'll see here, there are various tabs. There's customer sales here, and then you have sales from your websites, you have promotions to your customers, which are normally online promotions, and you have the lifetime value of each of your customers. And I just wanted to run through each one so you know how this works. So let's start with customer sales. And if we just have a look at this, we asked our programmers to create an online calculator for you to work out your own figures. And as per usual, programmers have gone into a lot of detail. And to be honest, you can play with this as much as you like, but the only things you really are interested in here on the customer sales tab is this top line where we have the customer count, the average pound per sale, purchases per month, etc. Now, the way this works very simply is that on the baseline figure, you want to put in a figure. Now, what I've actually done, I've done a very brief Excel spreadsheet here that will show you how much you can earn part-time and full-time from customer sales, website sales, and your online promotions. So we'll fill in the blanks as we go along. The music CDs, interactive storybooks, the DVDs, the growth charts, singing alarm clocks, singing cuddly toys, which we call plush, and the name poems are our best sellers. So let's work out some figures. On the customer sales tab, let's just say that you're working part-time and you're only putting in maybe one day at the weekend, weekend work, maybe some nighttime work, but basically part-time. And you get, I don't know, let's just say that you do an event at a weekend and you sell very briefly, let's have a look at our spreadsheet again here. Let's say that you sell 10 music CDs, 10 interactive storybooks, and only 10 DVDs. Excuse me. So the numbers are very, very low. I'm doing that deliberately to show you the kind of income you can make. So let's make it very conservative. So that would be 10 music CDs, 10 interactive storybooks, and 10 DVDs, which would make 30 in total, which you would do quite easily on most events that you go to on a part-time basis. So if we put that into the baseline customer count, now we're talking about 30 for an event at the weekend. If we multiply that by 4 weeks, so we get a rough monthly figure, we're looking at 30 times 4 weeks is 120 customers or sales in effect. And let's say that the average sale, which is in this box here, for a CD on average is sort of $14.99. It's normally more for DVDs, but let's just keep it all at $14.99. And each of those customers only purchase one each of those products. So we're going to put one in there. Now, the chances are they're going to purchase more than one because a lot of families have more than one child. But let's just keep it very simple, very conservative. So we've got 120 sales over a month period at $14.99. And if we click the calculate button down here at the bottom, what will happen is the page will reset itself. And what you'll see is the figure of £1,799 on a monthly basis. I'm going to change that because we'll make it a little bit easier. Let's put this average per sale at £15 so I can actually work it out easier on a weekly scale. We'll click the calculate button again. And here we are now. We have got a monthly sales of £1,800 and annual sales of £21,600. Now that's just selling 10 each of our CDs per week. So let's go back to our little spreadsheet and put those figures in. Now £1,800 would be on a part-time weekly basis divided by 4 weeks would be £450 a week. So let's put in that figure of £450 there. Now, bearing in mind that we are now selling 10 of each at £15 which is £150 on the music CDs, £150 on the interactive storybooks, and £150 on the DVDs. Again, keeping this quite conservatively. Now, the growth charts will generally go for around £7 each, £6.99. So let's go back to our calculator and let's put in that we are going to just sell, say, 5 a week. That's just 5 a week. So that would be 20 a month. So we're going to sell 20 growth charts a month at an average of £7, and they only make one purchase. So let's just assume they have one child only. Once again, let's click the calculate button, and up comes our new calculation, which is £140 a month, or £1,680 per year. Excuse me, I do have the hiccups while I'm doing this, but hopefully you can get the gist of this. £140 a month, which divided by 4 would be £35 a week. So let's go back into our growth chart here, and we put in weekly figure of £35. Then we have the singing alarm clocks and the singing cuddly toys, and they will generally go for anything from £22 to £25. So let's keep it conservative, and let's just say that we're going to put them in at £22, and let's just say that you only sell 2 each of those a week. So some very conservative figures. So that would make 8 customers per month. In actual fact, it would be 16, because we're going to sell 2 of the cuddly toys, 2 of the alarm clocks a week, which would make in total 16 sales per month, or 16 new customers. And they would say, let's keep it at the lower end of the scale at, say, £22, and they make 1 purchase a month again. Now let's click the calculate button, and what we will come up with is a figure of £352 monthly sales, or £4,224 for your yearly sales. Now, £352 divided by 4, and I'm going to work this out on my calculator, as I'm not absolutely fantastic on these, but 352 excuse me, divided by 4 would make a total of £88 per week. So let's put that figure in there, and that is £88, or 44 per week on the clocks, and 44 on the cuddly toys. The name poems, now they generally go for, let's just say we only sold 5 of those a week, which would make 20 a month, and they will go anything from excuse me, around £3.99. So put them at £4, 1 purchase only. Hit the calculate button, and here we are. That's £80 per month, £960 per year. So £80 a month would make £20 per week. So let's put that in. And what you're now seeing on a part-time weekly basis, on very conservative figures, you are looking at a figure around £593 per week, which is not too bad. So let's put that figure in here under part-time weekly from your customer sales directly to the customer. You're looking at around £593 a week direct selling. Now, if you were to work full-time and you were doing this 5 days a week, then of course all these figures can be multiplied by 5. So we'd be looking at 750 for the CDs, 750 for the storybooks, and 750 for the DVDs. The growth charts on a monthly figure, we are looking at 100, and let me see, 35 times 5. That would be £175 a week. The singing alarm clocks, let's see, 44 times 5, we are looking at £220. And it's the same again for the cuddly toys, £220, and £100 for the name poems, which will give you a potential figure on conservative figures of £2,965 a week, working this on a full-time basis. So let's put that figure in there, 2,965. So there's our 2 figures for a part-time and full-time. This is just on the customer sales. Now, let's move on a little bit, because there are other income streams. Excuse me. When we hit the tab here, sales from your website, every customer you get, in actual fact, everybody you know, even customers you don't have, will be happy to give you their email address that you can put into your database, because this is an extremely non-threatening business. It's about children and children's products and personalized children's products. So you can build up sales from your website very, very quickly. Now, as a prime example, even when you're starting a new website, you're going to be looking at naturally around 500 hits per month to your website, and that's a very low figure. So we're going to put in here 500, and let's say the average sale, let's say it's a CD, is £15, okay, from your website. Now, it'd be nice if all 500 of those each bought a £15 CD or DVD or whatever it might be. However, that's extremely unlikely. The likelihood is going to be a much lower conversion rate. But again, let's keep it very, very conservative. And in here, we'll put a conversion rate of only 9% of those people will actually buy from your website. Now, if we scroll down to the bottom and we click the Calculate button, the page should refresh itself. There you go. Now, that is going to give you an extra £675 of sales. Or £8,100 annual sales. Of course, as this figure goes up and your website gets out there more, the older it is, the more customers you're going to get, the more word of mouth. You can do some great work with your website, get it up the rankings. That figure is going to increase greatly. But let's just keep it at that. 500, let's just say you only had 500 hits every single month forever. At £675 per month. Now, let's go back to our spreadsheet. And let's put that in as a figure for website sales on a weekly basis. Now, bear in mind, this is only 500 hits a month, and it's 675. Divide that by 4 weeks, and what we've actually got there is £168.75. So let's put that figure in there. Now, that's exactly the same whether you're full-time or part-time, unless you spend an awful lot of time getting your site right up to page 1, which you can do with some work. And of course, that figure is going to go up. So we'll keep it the same for both of those figures. Back into our little Excel spreadsheet, where the next one we have is the promotions to your customers. Now, this is very interesting because this one is as you build your business. Again, forget about all this stuff down here. It's really not important. The only things you're interested in is this top baseline here. So let's just say you had those 500 customers and you wanted to promote to those customers an offer, a special offer, maybe do buy one CD, get one half price, whatever it is that you want to do. And you only do that once a month. Most people will do it more than that, but let's just keep it conservative again. Again, let's keep the conversion rate very low. Let's say it's only 9% of those people actually buy, and the average sale once again is £15. We click the Calculate ROI, return of investment button here. The form will reset itself, and we're still at that £675 mark. Now, that's on top of your 500 hits that you get every month. As this increases, now let's just say you get up to 5,000, and it's not going to take you very long to get a database of 5,000 people on your website. You'll get that naturally through the hits from your website. You'll get it through word of mouth from people you know. And let's say you once again do promotions of just once a month, and you get a 9% return. Okay, £15 is the average sale. We click the Calculate Return of Interest button, and now we've got some great figures coming up because we're looking at a monthly revenue of £6,750, or this one here, which is phenomenal, £81,000. Now, that is with not a great deal of work. You just need to get this figure up onto your website, which is relatively simple to do. So your website would be doing all the work for you. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're doing this part-time or full-time, these figures are always going to be the same. So we're looking at £6,750, but you know what? For the purposes of this example, let's keep that figure once again at just 500. Click the Calculate button, and here now we have a figure of £675 again, which is a monthly revenue. So let's put that in. As I said, I wanted to keep this very, very conservative. So once again, we are looking at £168.75 part-time, and it would be exactly the same full-time. And remember, your website is your shop. It is open 24 hours of the day, so it will be doing the work for you. Now, on these conservative figures, as you can see, part-time, we have a figure where you can potentially earn £930 and 50p selling potentially just 1 day a week. If you are looking to this full-time, as most distributors tend to, then you are looking at a figure around well over £3,000 just to do this 5 days a week on conservative figures. And remember that these website sales and online promotions, that's where your money's going to be as your business grows. This income is fantastic, and you will get this, and you can get this week in, week out. But eventually you will want your website to do the work for you, because it means less work for you. One final thing before we use the calculator below, there is one last tab, and that is the lifetime value of each of your customers. So let's click on that, and this is very interesting because most people think that they make one sale and that's it. But your customer that buys one CD from you is worth so much more than that, and I'm going to show you exactly how. In the top box here, it says amount of average sale, and let's once again put a CD in at £15. And let's just say that customer comes back to you just twice a year. So you make 2 sales per year from that customer. And let's say that customer is only a customer for 5 years. And that customer refers to you on average 4 new customers every year, because they will do, because they will talk to their families and friends, and it's a personalized product. It makes people happy. They will talk about it. So you will get referrals. It's an extremely viral business. So let's just say you get 4 per year. Now, underneath here on E, it says percentage of referrals who become customers. Let's say that only 2 of those 4 people, although most of them become customers, but let's just say 2, 50% become a customer. So now we've got some figures put in there. Let's see what the value of that one sale, one customer, is actually worth to you by clicking the Calculate Lifetime Value button here. Now, once we click that and the form resets itself, what you will find here is that your original customer, which brought in £15, is actually going to bring you in £30 per year. Gross sales per year per customer is 2 times 15, £30. Over the 5-year period, that customer is actually going to give you £150. So it's £30 times 5 years. The customer also gave you 4 referrals, of which 2 of them per year convert into customers. So you get 2 customers, which means that your average value of your customer and the referrals they give you is £1,500, which is basically the new customers that he gave you from referrals times the number of years that he was a customer, and with the gross sales over the lifetime, which is 5 years. So he's bringing in another £1,500. Then, of course, you've still got the extra £150 that the original customer gave you over the lifetime of those 5 years, bringing you a total of £1,650. Now, that is what a customer is worth to you. Please don't ever think that a customer is just making one sale, because that customer is invaluable to you and will bring you a lot more business. And bear in mind that all these referrals that he's given you, they're going to give you referrals, and the whole process repeats itself. So I hope now that you've kind of got the gist of that. Some of the figures here, very realistic figures on conservative numbers that you would sell. Now, please feel free to use this calculator to your heart's content. As I said, don't worry too much about most of the other things. It's just the top line that you really want to worry about, which is this baseline figure on that page. Sales from your website is exactly the same, just that figure there, not all those other ones that have just highlighted, so just the top one up here. Promotions to your customers, once again, it's just all these ones here. And the lifetime value of each of your customers, which you can work out by filling in all the details as you go down the page. Very interesting. I think you can work out your own calculations, and feel free to come back to us with anything else that you may want to know. Thank you very much for watching this short video.